today the fate of 1,332 candidates in 93 seats across 11 states and union territories is being decided in the third phase of the Lok Sabha Elections 2024. Hello, I am Flora Swine, and joining me today are senior editors and reporters from across the states where the polls are underway. In the studio, I have with me Vikas Pathak, the Deputy Associate Editor of the Indian Express. As the third phase of the Lok Sabha polls unfold, we are here to give you a comprehensive coverage on the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express. For all the live election updates, deep dive analysis pieces, please visit our website, indianexpress.com. But for starters, let's start off with what are our key constituencies and the key battleground fights.
The third phase of the biggest Indian election is just around the corner with voting set for May 7th. A total of 1,351 candidates from 12 states and union territories are competing in this phase of the Lok Sabha elections. Some notable names among these candidates will also be testing their fortunes on May 7th. So let's take a look at who these candidates are. Union Home Minister and number 2 in the Bharatiya Janata Party, Amit Shah, is contesting the election from his home turf Gandhinagar in Gujarat. He contested the 2002 assembly elections from the Sarkhej constituency in Ahmedabad. However, he decided to enter into national politics in the second tenure of the Modi government. In his first Lok Sabha election, he marked the victory with a whooping margin of more than 8 lakh votes. This time, Shah is contesting against the Congress candidate Sonam Patel. Patel is a seasoned political figure and former Gujarat Mahila Party president. Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia will contest his first Lok Sabha election after switching from Congress to BJP. As a member of the Scindia family who once held sway in Gwalior, he had a strong hold on the Guna seat of Madhya Pradesh, which was one represented by his father, Madhav Rao Scindia. After the untimely demise of his father in 2001, he made his debut in politics and contested the bypoll election from the Guna seat of MP. He remained undefeated in this seat. However, the streak was broken when Scindia lost his seat to BJP's Krishna Lal Yadav in 2019. With assets worth over 424 crores, Scindia is the second richest candidate contesting in the Lok Sabha election phase 3. In MP's Guna district, the main competition is between Bharatiya Janata Party's Jyotiraditya Scindia and Congress's Rao Yadvendra Singh. Dimple, once an accidental politician, is now tasked with retaining this important seat for Mainpuri in Uttar Pradesh's Braj region. Yadav's debut in the political arena was not happy as she unsuccessfully contested the by-election for the Lok Sabha constituency of Firozabad in 2009 against actor-turned-politician Raj Babbar. In the 2019 Lok Sabha election, she was defeated by a 10,000 vote margin by BJP's Subrat Path. However, luck smiled on her as she retained the Mainpuri seat in the 2022 by-poll. Mainpuri, once represented by her father-in-law Mulayam Singh Yadav, is one of the stronghold seats of the Yadav family. Dimple Yadav, a two-time MP from Kannauj seat and the incumbent MP from Mainpuri, has assets worth Rs 15.5 crore. The BJP has chosen Jaiveer Singh as its candidate against Dimple in this election. Supriya Sule, who is considered as one of the vocal voices in the opposition, is once again in election fray from her conventional seat of Baramati. Supriya Sule entered into politics in 2006 as a Rajya Sabha member. 3 years later, she contested her first Lok Sabha election from Baramati constituency in Maharashtra. Since 2009, she has been a consistent winner of Lok Sabha elections in Baramati, a seat previously held by her father since the early 1990s. The emergence of her cousin Ajit Pawar's wife Sunitra Pawar as a contender in the Baramati seat has added intrigue to the electoral contest. Of the 48 Lok Sabha seats in Maharashtra, the Baramati constituency in the Pune district is the only one witnessing a direct fight between two women candidates. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi this time will mark his fourth consecutive instance of contesting for a place in the lower house of the Indian Parliament from Dharwad in Karnataka. Rising from the post of district president, he first contested in the 14th Lok Sabha election in 2004. In the same year, he clutched the constituency by defeating Congress candidate B.S. Patil. Now he's in charge of three big roles in Modi's cabinet: Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Minister of Coal, and Minister of Mines. This election is interesting because the Congress is putting forward their young leader Vinoda Suti for his first Lok Sabha election.
We would like to inform our viewers at this point that the 3 p.m. Voter turnout percentage was pegged at 50.71, where West Bengal was leading in terms of the voter percentage data at 63.11%, with Maharashtra the lowest at 42.63%. Because for starters, last time in 2019, BJP was leading when it came to these specific seats of phase 3. What do you think is at stake for BJP at this point of time?
On the positive side for the BJP, this is supposed to be an easier phase. One reason is that out of 93 seats that go to polls, 26 are in Gujarat. Surat, they have won unopposed. So Gujarat has been a stronghold. That is one thing. Secondly, conventionally speaking, even in say Karnataka, northern Karnataka, the BJP has traditionally been stronger, right? So then you have Madhya Pradesh, very strong bets of the BJP going to the polls. UP, it might be a mixed bag, but say Chhattisgarh, for instance, it is the northern side of Chhattisgarh that goes to polls, which they had literally swept in the assembly elections last time, months ago. So in that sense, this phase is a very strong one for the BJP conventionally. But therein also lies a challenge that BJP will look to repeat its previous performances here. If there's any dip here, then it is a loss for the BJP vis-a-vis the previous elections.
Correct. We cannot kickstart any election conversation without bringing up the Ranna topic.
Yeah.
For the past 10 days or so, it has been the newsmaker, the headline maker. It's been an action-packed narrative over the weekend as well. How do you think it has affected the entire BJP campaign?
It's certainly an embarrassment for the BJP and the JDS. Had this revelation come or had this become news earlier, it would have been all the more difficult for the NDA, because that particular phase where this would really have impacted is already over. It got over before it became a national controversy. So right now, we are not into the JDS belt of southern Karnataka. We are looking at northern Karnataka. So in that sense, they are slightly safer, so to say. But then there's no guarantee that something that becomes a national issue or an issue that is being reported across the state will not have an impact even in northern Karnataka. So one will have to wait and see. Because sometimes what happens is that, for instance, say in the Vokaliga strongholds in the southern Karnataka region, the damage could have been more. But at the same time, there could also have been theories that he's being fixed and he's been accused. So he's the grandson of the Vokaliga patriarch, Devegowda. So there might have been, we don't know how it would have played out. It could have been worse, or it could also have led to, if the theory that he's being attacked and Devegowda's grandson is being attacked, had it been spread, through hush campaigns, then perhaps some kind of Vokaliga sentiment could have been awakened. Here it is now a different terrain. It's northern Karnataka. So it's a BJP stronghold. The question is, say, particularly among women, does it leave an impact? If it leaves an impact, an adverse impact, then there might be some damage. But the core region where it would have been a very intimate issue is already passed. So we'll have to wait and see. But of course, in terms of optics, it's not a great thing at all for the BJP.
So it's a wait and watch game currently, but the optics are not looking good. We'll now move on to Gujarat, but before we speak to our correspondent Leena Mishra there, we have a report on how Union Minister and BJP leader Parshottam Rupala's allegedly derogatory remarks against the Kshatriya community panned out there. Let's have a look.
you could tell us about his exact statement against the Kshatriyas and the context of this statement.
Yeah, well, Mr. Rupala was attending a Dalit event. It was basically an event to pay tribute to some Dalit leaders, and it was a program of bhajans where noted folk singer Karshan Sagatia was singing. So Rupala went there, and then he made a speech on March 22. And then in course of his speech, he said that India was persecuted by foreign rulers, and including the British. And he went on to say that even Maharajas, meaning the to the foreign rulers, and they sought friendly ties with these foreign rulers by breaking bread with them and marrying their daughters to them. This was the statement. The next day, a purported video of this statement went viral, and that caused an uproar among Kshatriya communities. And that's how the protests were triggered.
Now, Parimal, if you could tell us about this whole Kshatriya versus Patidar clash, like, what is the context? And if you could tell us, as we are not initiated, about the rivalry between the two communities.
Yeah, so Kshatriyas have taken offense with the statement of Rupala. And as we talk to a number of political commentators on the issue, they are of unanimous opinion that exactly the current controversy is about power within the ruling BJP. I mean, Kshatriyas, it is basically Kshatriyas are trying to get out of the margins of the political power gap within the BJP. They think that they've been reduced to margin. They are being marginalized in the power game of the BJP, and Patidars are becoming more dominant. So, in a way, they are trying to assert their political identity in the political scenario of Gujarat, and specifically within the Gujarat BJP, which is in power in the state for the last more than 30 years now.
A protest against Rupala is seen as something that is a bit of a dent for BJP in Gujarat, right? So what's next for Rupala in politics? Is he being seen as someone who might be a problem for the party, or because the chief minister himself had apologized on his behalf to the Kshatriya community?
Yeah. So actually, I doubt if this controversy will have any effect, any major effect on the electoral outcome of the Rajkot seat, because it is predominantly dominated by Patidar community, this Rajkot constituency. But as you said, that it has caused some kind of an embarrassment for the ruling BJP, because the chief minister, as chief CM, had to apologize for the comments made by Mr. Rupala. Gujarat BJP chief CR Patil has also expressed, he has also sought apologies from the Kshatriya community. But overall, as I said, Rajkot is a very, it's a BJP bastion. And since mid-80s, they have lost that seat only for us. Otherwise, they have always won it. So I doubt if Rupala would lose from this seat. But yeah, it has caused this entire controversy. It has caused an embarrassment to the BJP in Gujarat. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if I may add to what Parimal has already said. BJP might be confident of winning the seat one more time, but there is no doubt that it has caused a consternation among the BJP's leadership group. Some party insiders do say that, this is hurting the parties and the perception around it. So there are voices within the party that, probably Mr. Rupala should have backed out from the battle himself, or the party leadership should have persuaded him to, opt out of the contest, which is the main demand of the Kshatriya community.
Gujarat is witnessing polls in 25 of its seats. One seat, Surat, has been declared one unopposed by the BJP candidate Mukesh Dalal. He has been elected unopposed. And we have here with us today Leena Mishra, our correspondent from Gujarat. Leena, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, Leena. Can we start with what is the voter percentage turnout for Gujarat currently?
As of now, till 3 o'clock, it was around 47%. There is quite a high turnout in the tribal seats, especially Valsad, Sabarkantha, Banaskantha, and those kind of the seats which have a dominant tribal population. But the turnout is picking up, and there are still 2 more hours to go. Voting will go on till about 6 o'clock. So so the percentage could increase substantially. So in 2019, we saw a turnout of 64%, which was like 1% higher than 2014. So, yeah.
Leena, we are aware that, since morning, the BJP heavyweights, Amit Shah and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, have already cast their votes. Can you tell us, from amongst the 25 seats, which are the key battlegrounds, who are the key players who are at play?
So Gandhinagar is, of course, an important seat because Amit Shah is contesting from there, and the BJP has set a target of 10 lakh lead for that seat. Whereas, for the rest of the seats, the BJP had set a target of a 5 lakh lead. Last time, which was Amit Shah's first election, he won by a lead of some 5.8 lakh votes, a lead of that many votes. So that is one key seat. Then the spotlight is this time on Rajkot because of Rupala's comment. And there is a perception that the BJP may lose some, votes because of the Kshatriyas in this seat. But the number of Kshatriya votes in the Rajkot seat per se is very little. So here the fight mainly is between the rivalry of the Patidars, which is the Kadwa Patidars and the Leva Patidars. So Rupala is a Kadwa Patidar and he's fighting in Rajkot, which is not a familiar terrain for him. So the BJP has, nominated Rupala from Rajkot seat, whereas he belongs to Amreli. So he began his campaign by saying initially that I am from your neighborhood, but the entire campaign turned into an apology after this comment went viral. And the Kshatriyas came out on the streets to protest, and they disrupted many of the BJP, meetings and rallies the election rallies that happened. So because of this Kshatriya protests, there are some seats which have now become seats to watch out for because these protests could impact the outcome in these seats. So some of the seats are Anand, where the number of Kshatriya votes are almost 40%. And then there is Jamnagar, where the Kshatriya seats, number of Kshatriya votes are high. There is Kutch. Now, Kutch, Jamnagar and all are actually BJP bastions. But, because of this protest, there could be an impact. So there is also Patan, and there is Sabarkantha, Banaskantha, and Surendranagar. All of these seats could be impacted by the Kshatriya protests. And in Bharuch, which has become important because of this Aam Aadmi Party tribal candidate who's contesting from here. So the Congress, under its India Bloc arrangement, has given 2 of the 25 seats to Aam Aadmi Party. One is Bharuch and the other is Bhavnagar. So Bharuch has become an interesting contest because the Aam Aadmi Party candidate is a tribal, and Bharuch has a good share of tribal and Muslim votes. So earlier, before when the Congress used to fight from this seat, it used to put up a Muslim candidate. So these are some of the seats which have become interesting because of the Kshatriya stir, which is like almost 8 seats. So these are the key fights now. Yeah.
Leena, Gujarat is also a melting pot of caste politics. You mentioned there are the Kshatriyas, there are the Patidars, then you have the OBCs, you have the tribals, then you have the Muslim population as well that constitute 10% about 10% of the electorate. So tell us a little bit about how the caste politics is at play here, because we see that the Kshatriya protests are really huge. But yeah.
Yes. So Kshatriyas, while the protests might look very big, their numbers are very small. Kshatriyas also, in definition wise, there is a little bit of overlap of the Kshatriyas in the OBC pie. So, like the OBCs constitute almost 50% of the population in Gujarat, which includes some Kshatriya communities like Thakurs. So Thakurs have joined the Kshatriya protest, but actually they figure in the OBCs. Okay. And within the Kshatriyas, there are Rajputs and there are these OBC Thakurs. Okay. They are called Kshatriya Thakurs. So the Rajputs are considered the upper caste within the Kshatriyas. So they are about 6 to 7% in Gujarat, and the total Kshatriya votes could be around 17%, which includes some of the OBC communities like Thakurs. Okay, so numerically, the OBC is the largest community, and within the OBCs, the larger communities are the sub communities are the Thakurs and the Kolis. Okay, so they are a huge vote bank which all parties try to woo to get, to get maximum seats. And the other, impactful vote bank is that of tribals. So the entire eastern belt of Gujarat, beginning from Banaskantha in the north to Valsad in the south, is called the Purvi Patti. The tribals are in these districts of Gujarat. And we have four Lok Sabha seats, which are reserved for tribals. This is like, I think it's Dahod, Bardoli, Chota Udaipur, and there is one more. I don't remember the name right now, but I'll tell you. So there are four Lok Sabha seats that are reserved, that are tribal reserved seats, and the tribals are around 14% votes in Gujarat. Okay, are 8%, but they are not concentrated like the tribals. They are scattered. Their population is scattered. And then there is the Patidars. Patidars constitute almost 15% of the votes, but they are seen as a very strong vote bank for the BJP. They have always voted for the BJP since the Congress isolated them after the Kham reorganization in the 80s. Kham was basically, which is now everyone knows, it was the Kshatriya Harijan Adivasi Muslim, grouping that helped the Congress get, consolidate the votes of the non-Patidar communities. And this time, what we are seeing, and then there are the Muslims who also constitute around 10% of the votes. But the Muslims largely are seen as a community voting for the Congress. Not many of the Muslims are seen as BJP voters, although the BJP has been trying in some ways to woo them. So this time the Kshatriyas and these OBCs, the Kshatriyas who are in the OBCs, if they have, the protests which began as scattered disruptions of rallies became organized, and they began to, they launched a rath that went across Gujarat and they went to Kshatriya dominated villages and began to tell people, they took pledges from people to vote for the Congress, to boycott the BJP and so on. So that is what scared the BJP, because, the messaging in that propaganda was, could have, dented their chances in some seats, and could certainly dent their lead in most of the seats where they were aiming for a 5 lakh lead. So the BJP, first of all, what happened is Rupala apologized. He apologized twice, saying that, it was a mistake and forgive and forget, but the Kshatriyas did not give up.
I would just like to interject here, because you mentioned the power play when it comes to all the castes in Gujarat. Vikas, I would like to ask you that, be it a Gujarat, be it a Madhya Pradesh, be it an Uttar Pradesh, caste politics seems to be dominating the electorate a lot of times. So is it very normal in a country like India where the language changes every 30 kilometers, or, how does it work?
Yeah, it is very normal because, elections are never a single agenda thing. There might be some election that by chance becomes a single agenda election, but that is not so generally. So what happens is that for, say, a number of people in rural, semi-rural areas, the caste factor becomes very important because, in Indian democracy and the way the state functions, there are many caste groups that believe if we have more MLAs from our caste, more MPs from our caste, their access to the system becomes slightly easier. So that is a common problem. It is also what kind of things they get from the government.
Right.
There are many contracts to be awarded, etc. So, which is why caste politics succeeds. It is not simply about being absolutely casteist. It is also a very practical and pragmatic decision for people for whom access, say, to a police station is not so easy.
Correct.
Which is a practical difficulty faced by, I don't know, maybe 80-90% Indians. So for them, a phone call to a PA, someone in the village knows a PA of a minister or MP or MLA on caste grounds.
Yeah.
Because generally candidates are also fielded looking at caste permutations and combinations.
Right.
So which is why while we have a larger election like the Lok Sabha, at the same time that larger election can be broken down into those smaller local contests.
Correct.
Which is why every political party, whatever the wave or absence of it, always looks at caste combinations while doing alliances, one, and two, while choosing candidates. So while the BJP is saying that we see this election as very crucial, and the Modi will be winning the third time consecutive time, which will actually equal Nehru's Lok Sabha record.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even the BJP has had to think about which are the caste groups they are fielding from. Look at anything. Look at even many of the decisions of making people Rajya Sabha MPs, etc. Caste equations, regional equations, these factors, they are always important for every political party, including the BJP. So are the alliances. The alliance with, say, Jayant Chaudhary that
Correct.
happened. The Bharat Ratna to Karpuri Thakur and Chaudhary Charan Singh.
Yeah.
So obviously all these symbolic gestures plus candidate selection for any political party, I think the caste factor becomes important. And while caste is localized on the one hand, particularly for people who do not have very good access, that is the masses, so to say, at the same time, there's a symbolic pull of caste. For instance, the Rupala thing that Leena was talking about. Now in Gujarat, Kshatri may mean Rajput plus a section of OBCs. But of course, there the Rajputs as well as the OBC Thakurs were part of the protest. But that does not end in Gujarat. The symbolic dent, which may not be a real electoral dent, but the symbolic dent goes up to Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Bihar. In all those states where Rajputs are found in significant numbers. The reason is that Rajputs are a core vote base of the BJP, one of the core vote bases of the BJP in entire North and Central India, and of course Rajasthan plus Bihar. So in those states, there were people discussing what Rupala said or forwarding those videos, even in, say, Rajasthan.
Correct.
Right. So while they may not end up voting for the Congress, but the thing is, it's like it does not leave a good taste in the mouth, which is something that the BJP as a political party has to look at in the long run. So caste becomes important in a number of ways.
Absolutely. Leena, circling back to you, you mentioned that the Aam Aadmi Party is also contesting in 2 seats, right?
Yes, it's contesting in Bhavnagar and Bharuch. Yeah. So these are 2 MLAs. Aam Aadmi Party won 5 seats in Gujarat in the assembly elections. So again, taking off from what Vikas was saying, the Aam Aadmi Party fought on issues, but the MLAs who won were based because of the caste base. It was not because of the issues that the party took up. Okay, so they have put up a tribal MLA in Bharuch, who's fighting on a ticket of the Indie Alliance, and in Bhavnagar they have a Kohli candidate who is fighting on the Congress and the Indie Alliance again. So so the Bharuch candidate, the case of the Bharuch candidate has become very interesting after he was booked in a case of criminal assault in October, and he was in jail for some. He first went underground, then when he was arrested, he was in jail for some time, and he got bail, but the court placed a condition that he could not enter his own assembly constituency of Dediapada, which is a segment of the Bharuch Lok Sabha. And in that period, his wives began to campaign for him, so much like what Sunita Kejriwal is doing in Delhi. So, and she has also come to this constituency to campaign. So he has two wives, both of them set out to campaign on his behalf. And finally, of course, that bail condition was withdrawn. He got relief, and now he's out in the field campaigning. He's also one of the star campaigners for the alliance, and he goes outside of his constituency to campaign for other candidates in Gujarat. So this is one seat to look out for, because the votes here are fragmented between the there is an equal share of votes of the Muslims and the tribals and the other communities, which includes Kshatriyas also. So Bharuch is one interesting fight. Also, it is also interesting because it used to be a seat held by Ahmed Patel, and his children, Mumtaz and Faisal, had expressed their desire to contest from this seat. So the Congress has put that aside and decided the seat to Aam Aadmi Party. And Bhavnagar, of course, has always been won by the BJP. The alliance is trying to make a dent with the issues taken up, issues like amendment and the constitution, the saving the constitution and so on. And they hope that a little bit of the Kshatriya anger might impact and gain them votes in Bhavnagar as well. That the contest in Bhavnagar is not as close as it is in Bharuch. Yeah.
Absolutely. Vikas, circling back to you, 26 on 26 for BJP. Is this how, is Gujarat a masterclass in what total political dominance looks like?
Yeah, Gujarat certainly has been one of the states where the BJP has been very powerful. So the BJP in Gujarat has gradually become what at one point of time CPIM was in Bengal, right? Where you keep on winning elections one after the other. It has been sweeping, in fact, for the last, if it sweeps, it will be the third time it will do so. Right. Even if it does not, the point is that it is clearly the more powerful party in Gujarat. So yeah, that is why Gujarat was once called a Hindutva laboratory and all that. That word is not now used that much. The reason being that what Gujarat was for the BJP some years ago, now large parts of North India, Central India and Western India have become for the BJP. Right. But of course, Gujarat is one of the states that is safest for the BJP.
Yeah. So now from Gujarat, we shall be moving on to Alok Deshpande in Maharashtra. We have high-profile seats of Baramati, Satara, Ratnagiri, Sindhugarh, Kolhapur, which are in focus, and Maharashtra is witnessing polls in 11 out of 28 seats there. Alok, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So viewers, that's our correspondent from Maharashtra.
Yes.
Yes, Alok, you're audible. So viewers, that's our correspondent Alok Deshpande from Maharashtra. Alok, please tell us, what is the voter turnout percentage?
As of now, it's been very less. It's just more than 40%, and but by 3 o'clock, now we'll get the additional figures. As of now, we have, for the first time, rather, I would say, in this part of region in Maharashtra, we are seeing violence in the polling, especially in places like Hatkanangle, which is in the western part of Maharashtra, which is in the western Maharashtra sugar belt. Also, there are instances of violence in Raigad. Then there was one instance in Baramati also. There have been videos of ruling party leaders abusing voters. That has been going. Those videos are going viral. So it's like a very tense election that's been played out now in Maharashtra.
Like I mentioned, we have heavyweight battles in Maharashtra. Can you tell us what are the key constituencies? Who are the key players?
Yes. Baramati, undoubtedly the most high-profile battle in this phase, because we have for the first time two members of Sharad Pawar's family fighting against each other. Supriya Sule, who's the sitting MP, and Sunetra Pawar, who's the wife of Ajit Pawar. So these two ladies are battling it out here in Baramati. Also, what we see in Baramati is a battle of job. Many observers many reporters have said that there's a pattern that the population above 45, 50 is kind of sympathetic, is kind of supporting Sharad Pawar's politics, and the younger generation is more inclined towards Ajit Pawar. I'm not saying this is the general trend, but these are few of the observations. Also, it's kind of an emotional. It turned as an emotional election for the Pawar family in the last 2 days when Pawar in the final rally could not deliver a speech. He had a bad throat, and all those visuals and he announced that he was sick and everything. So that is, it's like, it has everything. There is allegations of money distribution. There is allegation of goons being used to influence voters, and this is unheard of in Baramati. This is happening like for the first time in Baramati, but there's always a first time. So, but this is a very concerning thing that is happening in Baramati. The second constituency is Ratnagiri Sindhudurg, where Union Minister Narayan Rane is contesting. It's a Shiv Sena bastion. United Shiv Sena has been winning it for many years now, except for 2009, I would say, when Congress won it. But Narayan Rane is getting tough fight here from Shiv Sena. There are reports that initially even he was not ready to contest the election because he has suffered two consecutive electoral defeats, assembly and all. So he was not exactly willing to contest this election, but ultimately BJP ordered him; he had to follow. The third is Kolhapur. Kolhapur is for the first time descendant of Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj. Shahu Maharaj Chhatrapati is contesting from the Congress ticket. He has been active in social life, but this is for the first time that he's in the political arena. Then there are out of these 11 seats in 2019, United Shiv Sena won 4, United BJP had won 4, and the NCP United NCP had won 3. So it's a sugar belt, Western Maharashtra's sugar belt, which has seen traditional dominance of Pawar's politics.
Right.
Now we have to see, it's a very prestige battle for Pawar clan also. Who manages to keep the control on this part of the state? Because Pawar has played his cards on ground. There were some unexpected things happened where BJP leaders rejoined NCP, and it's a very interesting phase of election in Maharashtra.
So is BJP desperate to, do a repeat performance of 2019 and win 4 seats?
Yes, because they had won 4 seats in 2019. Now, out of these 4 seats, Madha, Solapur, Sangli, and Latur, in all 4 seats, BJP is getting tough competition. In Madha and Solapur, the political recalculation done by Mr. Sharad Pawar, which forced many BJP leaders to come back to NCP, to his side, has sort of disturbed BJP's equation. In Sangli, there was which the BJP initially thought it will be an easy election, now has turned very interesting because of the entry of Congress rebel Vishal Patil. And also in Latur, which is a reserve seat, Congress has put a very strong candidate where entire family of late Vilasrao Deshmukh, former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is campaigning, and it's become a very tough battle for BJP in all these 4 seats. So BJP is kind of has put all its might here in this space.
Thank you, Alok. Thank you for the update on Maharashtra. And from the west now to Bihar, we have with us our correspondent, Santosh Singh, here with us. Santosh, can you hear me? Santosh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. So tell us something about the voter turnout percentage.
We get do not get 1 hourly. Get to every 2 hour we get the voting percentage. We got the voting percentage of by 3 p.m. Just I'm telling you. You give me a second. I just taken a note of it. It's
You can take your time, Santosh. In the meantime, you can tell us Bihar is witnessing the battle for 5 Lok Sabha seats. Who are the key players in these 5 constituencies?
I just got the voting percentage. That is 46.69%. And the 5 constituencies are going to hold in the third phase. That is Zanjarpur, Supaul, Araria, Madhepura, and Khagadia. Let me start with Madhepura, with key constituency from where socialist icon, legendary leader Sarad Yadav, late Sarad Yadav used to contest. He won several times. Even Lalu Prasad won the seat several times, and once Lalu Prasad defeated Sarad Yadav, and on another occasion Sarad Yadav defeated Lalu Prasad. This time, JDU leader Dinesh Chandra Yadav, sitting MP, is contesting from there, and against him RJD has put up a low-profile candidate, Kumar Chandradeep. He is also a Yadav. It's basically battle of Yadavas. There is a famous slogan called Rom Pope Ka Madhepura Gop Ka. Gop is a surname also used by Yadav. That's why we are using the word Gop. It's very interesting battle there. And let me also add, there had been a lot of speculation about Sarad Yadav's son, Santulum Bundela, getting the ticket. But, and he had been contesting, Sarad Yadav's wife had been also putting up there for some time. But he could not get the seat. Maybe the RJD is part of RJD politics. We can't comment more on that. Let me take the Kosi Belt seat, that is Jhanjharpur. Jhanjharpur is a part of Madhubani and joining Darbhanga as well. It's not a district. Basically, it's a case study for extremely backward classes votes. Rampreet Mandal of JDU is sitting MP there. He's contesting again. And RJD has given this seat to its ally, Vikasil Insan Party of Mukesh Sahni and EVC Sahni leader. He also uses the sobriquet son of Mullah. This time, Suman Kumar Mahaseth of VIP is contesting opposite Rampreet Mandal. And interestingly, there is a third candidate, Gulab Yadav, who is a RJD rebel. He is contesting from Samajwadi Party. That is Jhanjharpur second. And third seat is Araria. Araria, Pradeep Kumar Singh, an EBC leader, sitting BJP MP. He is pitted against, rather, Sahnawaz Alam of RJD is pitted against BJP MP, Pradeep Kumar Singh. Sahnawaz Alam is son of iconic RJD leader who was also called the Gandhi of Simanchal, former Union Minister, the late Muhammad Taslimuddin. He is contesting. This is a very interesting battle up there. And another seat is Khagadia. Khagadia seat, it was represented twice by Chaudhary Mahbub Ali Kaisar, but this time he was denied ticket from LJP, and LJP has fielded Rajesh Kumar Verma. Rajesh Verma, he is from Bhagalpur. He was deputy mayor from Bhagalpur there, and he is contesting against Sanjay Kumar of CPM. That is the only seat CPM has been contesting in Bihar, and CPM has been contesting after 3 decades. Last time CPM contested any Lok Sabha seat in Bihar was in 1991. And the fifth seat is Supaul. Dileshwar Kamath of JDU, sitting MP of JDU, he is contesting against Chandrahas Chopal of RJD. Again, it's a very interesting seat in a sense that it's EVC dominated. Both Jhanjharpur and this seat, Supaul seat, which was once represented by Papu Yadav's wife Ranjit Ranjan of Congress. JDU has rested the seat for last two elections. So it's a EVC versus EVC in Janjarpur. These are the 5 seats going to poll in this phase. Yes.
Thank you, Santosh, for the update. Just hold on there. We have Vikas Pathak in the studio with us. Vikas, you have traveled in Bihar, right? I'm under the impression you have done your traveling in Bihar. What were your observations when it came to the election?
Well, I would say one is that the election seemed quite localized to be.
Right.
So rather than one binding narrative that one can see across the state, it seemed that candidate selection, caste equations, these were varying from constituency to constituency.
Okay.
So what that does, according to me, is that last time the NDA had 39 out of 40, which is almost a near clean sweep. This may pose a bit of a challenge for the NDA, the BJP and NDA, because if the election becomes quite localized and candidates and caste combinations begin to matter, then the chances of a complete sweep are lower. So there's an anticipation many people are expecting, including people within the BJP, that the NDA is likely to lose some seats in Bihar. And there is a palpable rise of the RJD to an extent. It may not manifest fully in the Lok Sabha, this being a Lok Sabha election, but maybe in the next Vidhan Sabha. So the RJD is not doing badly at all. And even in terms of candidate selection, let me say, RJD had an image of being a Muslim Yadav party. Tejasvi Yadav has clearly moved beyond that. For example, the India bloc, led by the RJD in the state, has fielded quite a few Kushwaha OBC candidates. And at least in one place, I did see in one of the constituencies that the Kushwahas seem to be going veering towards a Kushwaha candidate of the RJD rather than the BJP, despite the fact that the BJP state president and deputy CM Samrat Chaudhary is a Kushwaha, and also Upendra Kushwaha is with the NDA. So the RJD is clearly learning that trick from the BJP, diversifying the caste combines in order to. So even the diversification of the caste combine suggests a kind of a micro pattern in which you look at elections, very localized.
Okay, absolutely. Santosh, getting back to you, you mentioned the voter turnout percentage, and we are also aware that the Supaul booth presiding officer died due to the heat stroke. So can you tell us what is the reason for the low voter turnout percentage and how it can impact, how it can have a subsequent impact on the results?
Let us wait for the final percentage. As of now, we cannot say it's a low percentage. But if you talk about the last two phase, of course, there is 4% dip. That is in pattern. I think that was the X factor that the Pulwama had brought in last election. Let us put it that way. In the last phase, it was pretty okay, though it was in comparison to last election, it was again the 4% dip. But it was 55% plus in last phase. Let us see. I think it should cross 55 this time again. But overall, of course, there is a dip in poll percentage. And we have tried to speak to the CEO, Chief Electoral Officer of Bihar, HR Srinivas. He attributed it to two things, heat wave and general lack of interest among voters. And I think I covered many elections. I covered elections in Madhya Pradesh, in Delhi, and now in Bihar, several elections. I think the very lukewarm response from the voters, very tepid election. बहुत हिंदी में जिसको कहते हैं, it's about ठंडा election. It's very lack of interest among. You have to take out the stories. Because had been there, he can also testify. General lack of general interest among public. Okay, of course, in rallies you get some crowd, but besides that, you go and talk to people. Either they are silent, or they have become very smart, they are ambivalent, they are not saying much. So coming back to your question, it was lack of interest. But what Vikas said, I'm tempted to add a few things. What he said in his first in the question you asked, Vikas. See, there are 4 or 5 variables in this election. Of course, he talked about the Kushwaha factor. That's a story in the making, a story in progress. See, Nitish Kumar has been the prime stakeholder of Love Kush vote, which is Kurmi and Kushwaha vote, for a long time. Now that he is walking in sunset of his political career, this vote is up for grabs. As you said, BJP projected Samrat Chaudhary, a Kushwaha leader, Upendra Kushwaha, another Kushwaha leader. He was already there. He was in NDA. He left NDA again, came back to NDA. There, but we can see the cracks. Whether RJD has projected Kushwaha candidate certain belts or not. If you travel from one constituency to another, one voter said, just because Nitish Kumar moves like pendulum, we should also move. This is not fair. So that is one variable we saw. Another variable of this election is RJD is trying to add up EVC votes. Sahni factor. Mukesh Sahni joined Mahagathbandhan or India Bloc very recently, and he got 3 seats to contest. He is Malla leader, and it is not just 2.6%. There are some allied caste which adds up to say 8-9%. So I am not just saying that he is the Pan Bihar EVC leader, but he could impact in a tight situation. He could impact this election. So EVC is another variable. But one thing is that still goes in favor of NDA, that is Modi factor, overriding Modi factor, and the women voters. The 5 kilo free ration scheme has been working very well on the ground. They are saying कि अगर मोदी का खाया है तो इनको वोट देंगे. This is the paid sentence we have been hearing all along in all the constituency we have been moving. Yes.
Thank you so much, Santosh Singh, our correspondent from Bihar. Thank you, Santosh, for joining us. So from Bihar to the south of the country in Karnataka, where 14 seats are in the fray in the third phase of Lok Sabha Elections 2024. In 2019, BJP made a clean sweep of those seats, riding the Narendra Modi wave. We have our correspondent, Kiran Parashar from Karnataka with us. Kiran, what's the update?
The northern districts of Karnataka, which encompasses about 14 Lok Sabha constituencies, will be going for polls on 7th of May. In 2019, all these 14 seats were backed by BJP, which was then the Modi factor, and the Modi wave worked in 2019 elections. But this time it won't be as easy as what it was in 2019 for BJP, as there are a lot of things that are being played out, which includes the JDS and BJP alliance candidate for Hassan, Prajwal Revanna, who is now in middle of a controversy which is related to sexual abuse. While Congress have been campaigning with the allegations against the candidate, the BJP again has continued its campaign with the nationalistic sentiment in the region, and also mainly focusing on the national issues. If you see the election campaigns that were held in the recent days, especially after the first phase of Karnataka elections, it was for Congress, it was all Prajwal Revanna centric campaigns, where even Rahul Gandhi called Prajwal Revanna a mass rapist, and the campaign lines were very much different for Congress. Whereas for BJP, it was always about the Modi wave and the nationalistic sentiment. and other things. Some of the key constituencies here are one where Prahalad Joshi, the Union Minister Prahalad Joshi, who will be contesting from Hubballi Dharwad Lok Sabha segment. Here, a recent murder of a 24-year-old MCA student has triggered murder by a estranged boyfriend, Fayaz, resulted in a communal tension in this area, which BJP tried to campaign on the issue. However, that did not go. However, the BJP was put into defense with the incident of Prajwal Revanna. However, what people believe is none of these two incidents will make any will be any factor when a voter goes to the polling station to vote. And also, another important constituency is Shivamogga constituency, where B.Y. Raghavendra, son of former Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, is contesting against S. Bangarappa's daughter Geeta Shivraj Kumar. But for him, the biggest obstacle is his own party colleague, Caste Ishwarappa. Caste Ishwarappa, a long time Hindutva firebrand leader for BJP, is contesting as a rebel candidate in these elections. So there are concerns for BJP where if the votes may divide between the Hindutva votes may divide between these two parties. Another constituency which is also very key here is Uttar Kannada constituency, where BJP had denied ticket to its 6-time MP Anant Kumar Hegde and has replaced him with Vishweshwar Hegde Kageri. Here again, in this Hindutva heartland, BJP is again going for the elections based on nationalistic sentiments, whereas Congress has fielded Anjali Nimbalkar, considering that a good amount of Maratha community votes are present in this constituency. Also, this is also one of the important constituencies is where Mallikarjun Kharge's
So that was our correspondent Kiran Parashar giving us the updates from Karnataka in the south. From there, we move on to the Hindi heartland of Uttar Pradesh, where 10 Lok Sabha seats are up for grabs. We are joined in the studio by our correspondent Dheeraj Mishra for our Uttar Pradesh segment. And before we get to talking to Dheeraj, we have a Kannauj package for our viewers to be played.
ज्यादातर कन्नौज में अखिलेश जी का जलवा है, क्योंकि अखिलेश जी ने काम करा है काफी।
मोदी जी बहुत बड़ा चेहरा है और मोदी जी बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड है। सारे लोग पोल करेंगे भी तो वो मोदी जी के नाम पे ही वोट पड़ेगा।
Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has a lot at stake in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. He will be contesting against BJP's Subrat Pathak in Kannauj. Here's what people said on the ground.
कन्नौज के लिए जो इतनी इंडस्ट्री है कितनी महत्वपूर्ण है आपके लिए?
जी, कन्नौज के लिए बैकबोन है भाई। कन्नौज का ये इतर पूरी दुनिया में जाता है। कन्नौज का माल पूरे वर्ल्ड में जाता है। टोबैको लाइन में भी चलता है, सोप, डिटर्जेंट और जितनी महक है सारा काम जो है इसी से होता है।
कन्नौज में समय चुनाव चल रहा है, समाजवादी पार्टी से अखिलेश यादव जी लड़ रहे हैं, बीजेपी से सुब्रत पाठक जी सिटिंग सांसद है। आपको क्या लग रहा है लड़ाई किसमें है और चुनाव कैसा आपको लग रहा है?
जी, चुनाव बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है। अखिलेश जी भी लड़ रहे हैं, अखिलेश जी ने काम भी करा है कन्नौज के लिए और सांसद सुब्रत पाठक जी भी हैं। बाकी जनता देखे क्या मूड बनाती है। वैसे ज्यादातर कन्नौज में अखिलेश जी का जलवा है, क्योंकि अखिलेश जी ने काम करा है काफी और इधर कुछ काम नहीं हुआ है सरकारों में,
इधर की सरकारों में। तो अखिलेश जी के आने की वजह से चुनाव में क्या असर आया है, क्या कैसा लग रहा है चुनाव?
कन्नौज में अखिलेश जी के आने से बहुत मजबूती हो गई समाजवादियों में।
चुनाव ठीक से चल रहा है और चूंकि हम लोग तो भाजपा से जुड़े हुए हैं, इसलिए अपने हिसाब से थोड़ा सा आदमी सोचता भी है, लेकिन कुल मिला के टफ है। कि माननीय अखिलेश जी के आने से, और चूंकि वो इस क्षेत्र से रहे भी हैं सांसद और काफी पकड़ उनकी मजबूत है इस क्षेत्र में, तो टफ फाइट रहेगी, लेकिन अंततः तो लगता तो है हमारे सुब्रत जी को विजय प्राप्त होगी, क्योंकि एक मोदी जी बहुत बड़ा चेहरा है और मोदी जी बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड है। तो सारे लोग पोल करेंगे भी तो वो मोदी जी के नाम पे ही वोट पड़ेगा।
यहाँ बोला जा रहा था कि समाजवादी पार्टी ने तेज प्रताप यादव जी को टिकट दिया था, अब यहाँ पे स्वयं अखिलेश यादव जी आए हैं और
अखिलेश जी के आने से इलेक्शन बहुत अच्छा हो गया है, बहुत रोचक हो गया है।
अच्छा।
पहले लोग नहीं ज्यादा इलेक्शन में वो कर रहे थे, लेकिन अब ज्यादा अच्छा हो गया है।
अभी आपने बताया कि यहाँ राम मंदिर जब से अयोध्या में उसको उद्घाटन हुआ है, यहाँ के बिजनेस से भी उसका काफी असर आया है, तो कैसा है?
बिजनेस पर काफी असर आया। कई लोग, चूंकि राम हमारे पूज्य हैं, आराध्य हैं और सबसे बड़ी आस्था हमारी राम से जुड़ी हुई है। 500 साल बाद ऐसा मौका मिला कि हम लोग इतने भव्य मंदिर में हम लोगों ने देखा, तो इसकी वजह से पूरे देश में क्या बल्कि विदेश से भी लोग इस आस्था के केंद्र को देखने आ रहे हैं, दर्शन कर रहे हैं। तो उसकी वजह से चूंकि कन्नौज बहुत दूर नहीं है, फैजाबाद से लोग लखनऊ एक्सप्रेस वे होते हुए कन्नौज में प्रवेश कर रहे हैं और इससे हमारा बिजनेस भी बढ़ा। लोगों ने बहुत बारीकी से कन्नौज के इस परफ्यूम को, इंडस्ट्रीज को समझा है, समझ रहे हैं और इसका लाभ भी कन्नौज के लोगों को भी मिल रहा है। बाहरी भी जो व्यक्ति अभी तक बहुत सारी चीजें केमिकल के रूप में इस्तेमाल करता था, वो यहाँ के इत्र से उसकी पहचान भी उसे हुई है और वो उसका इस्तेमाल भी कर रहा है।
पिछले कुछ वर्षों में यहाँ की जो इत्र इंडस्ट्री है उसका मार्केट कैसा चल रहा है? पहले से बेटर हुआ है क्या पता होगा? नहीं,
मार्केट्स कहीं से भी मार्केट डेवलप्ड है और चूंकि पान मसाला के क्षेत्र में इत्र का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है, पान मसाला गुटखे में इत्र का जो प्रयोग किया जाता है, उस वजह से भी इंडस्ट्रीज अपनी जगह पर ग्रो कर रही है। बस यही है कि कुछ संसाधन और उपलब्ध अगर कराए जाए, खासकर जो पूरा उद्योग जो है लकड़ी पे आधारित है, अगर इस पर थोड़ा सा गैस के रूप में किसी तरीके से उसको परिवर्तित करके हम लोगों का जो डेक का काम है और इसका काम है, तो इसमें अगर इस गैस के रूप में अगर प्रयोग होने लगे तो इससे एक पर्यावरण का भी बहुत लाभ होगा। दूसरे छोटी छोटी इंडस्ट्रीज में कुछ टैक्स की भी बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत है। लोग अभी तक करते क्या थे कि साल भर में थोड़ा सा अपना बना लिया, उसके बाद उसको धीरे धीरे बेचते थे, तो एक ये प्रॉब्लम आई, खासकर गुलाब जल पे टैक्स लगा दिया गया है।
So Dheeraj, up until the latest data, what is the voter turnout percentage?
Well, Flora, we have voter turnout data as of 3 p.m. and in 10 Lok Sabha seats in Uttar Pradesh where voting is underway. Around the average voter turnout is 46.78%, out of which Sambhal has the highest voter turnout, that is 52.24%, and Badaयूं has 45.44%, and Eta 48.93%, and Manpuri 46.80%. So these are some of the key constituencies in these 10 seats. And yes, I mean, we are waiting for the latest update that Election Commission will release the updated data by
we know that the 10 seats that are up for grabs in Uttar Pradesh, a few of them are heavyweight battlegrounds, and we have some crucial players. Tell us about that.
So, I mean, if you talk about Uttar Pradesh per se, you can't ignore the caste politics and the religion politics. So these out of these 10 seats, I traveled in 2-3 places like Badaयूं and Sambhal and also some parts of Muradabad, but those areas falls in the Sambhal constituency. So as far as Sambhal is concerned, it's very interesting because Ziaur Rahman Burke, he's a son of Shafiqur Rahman. He's a grandson of Shafiqur Rahman Burke. He died in February. He was around 96 years old. So he was a very senior veteran politician, and for a very long time in Sambhal, YSP has a very strong hold. It was 2014 was the first time when BJP won seat in Sambhal. The main reason for this is because there are around 9 lakh votes are of Muslims only. But this time fight has become very interesting because people has found out caste in Muslims also, within Muslim, because Ziaur Rahman Burke, he belongs from a caste called Turk caste, and the one of the so from BJP side, Parvesh Randal Saini is fighting. He lost the election last time, but I mean BJP fielded him again, and BSP has fielded an politician named Saulat Ali. So for a long time he was not fighting election, but then because BSP has given him ticket, he belongs from a different caste that is called Khan Saab. So that in a way, if you travel to the Sambal area, they both belong from the upper caste, but not necessarily in the same order. So that is how it has become interesting, because people are expecting, so especially BJP is expecting that BSP will take a significant amount of Muslim vote to its side, and that will lead to the BJP's victory, because some of the core voters of BJP, like Brahmad, Baniyas, and Thakurs and Jat, they will vote to the BJP. That is what BJP is expecting. On the other side, SP is going on a right, going on the popularity of his Shafiqur Rahman Burke. So the Ziaur Rahman, he is expecting that he will get the sympathy votes. But it is also a fact that Shafiqur Rahman Burke, he died of natural death, I mean at 96 years old. And so I followed his campaign for around 2 days, and I noticed this very interesting thing, that everywhere he was going, he was focusing on one thing, that आपको कौम की बात करनी है, आपको कौम के लिए वोट करना है. So you need not to go into the caste factors. Vote at one party that is going to save you from this bulldozer Raj. So it was a mix of the in a way kind of he was, I mean, portraying this election campaign as a mix of misrule of BJP and sympathy of his grandfather. So yeah, that was in Sambhal. And just quickly, I will add about Badaयूं. Badaयूं has become very interesting because Badaयूं has been in a way, it's a, so Mulayam Singh Yadav, he won election. So Badaयूं consists of an assembly seat that is called Gunnor. It's very important because Gunnor was a constituency where in 2004 he won a by-election by a margin of over 1.83 lakh votes something, and he got around 92% votes. So there is a saying in Gunnor, if you travel to the Gunnor, people will say that Mulayam Singh Yadav used to say that if agar Saifai mera ghar hai to Gunnor mera aangan hai. So that is what a kind of relation people and also Gunnor has over 50% population is Yadav. But interestingly, in the last election, SP lost the election to Sanghmitra Maur, BJP's Sanghmitra Maur, because of the Gunnor. So there was a division of Yadav votes, and at that time Dharmendra Yadav, another family member of Mulayam Singh Yadav, so he was fighting election. He has been 2 times MP from Badaयूं. Now he is contesting election from Azamgarh. So he lost the election because there was a divide in Yadavs in Gunnor assembly. So now this time Samajwadi Party is trying very hard. They are trying to, they're trying to keep the Yadav votes intact. That is what all went into the election. I mean, let's see what happened in the result. But yeah, I mean, it made very interesting because this time, so Samajwadi Party was trying all the way, and especially Mulayam Singh Yadav was a very important factor in the Badaयूं seat. Yes.
Right. So that was Dheeraj Mishra, our correspondent from Bihar. Moving on to farther to the east, we have with us Sukrita Barua, our correspondent from Assam. Sukrita, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Sukrita, I can hear you. Yeah, so Assam is witnessing polls in the last 4 seats out of its 14 seats, and after the third phase, it will complete Sukrita, can you hear me? We have apparently lost connection with our correspondent Sukrita Barua from Assam. Dheeraj, I'll get back to you again. So you mentioned the caste politics in terms of religion as well, right? And you also mentioned the Samajwadi Party. Dimple Yadav is currently contesting from Manipuri seat. How much of a prestige battle is it for us, given that it was earlier held by her father-in-law, Mulayam Singh Yadav?
Yeah, I mean it's a very interesting. I mean, as you said, that this is it has become more of a prestige battle than winning just Lok Sabha seat.
Yeah.
Because she has to win anyway, anyhow. I mean, of course with legal means, but yeah, I mean it has become very interesting because I mean, looking at the Mulayam Singh Yadav's stature and the way he, he founded the party, the way he became the chief minister of the state, and then for a very long time he was one of the flag bearer of the Samajwadi politics around the country. So I mean, it seems like a very safe seat for Samajwadi Party because including Dimple Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav, and all the most of the Samajwadi Party's star campaigners were in Manpuri, and yeah, I mean, it seems like the looking at the stronghold of Samajwadi Party in Manpuri and Mulayam Singh Yadav's contributions and Dimple Yadav herself. So it seems like it's a very safe battle for Dimple Yadav.
For her. How are we looking at the Samajwadi Party's future after
election? This is I mean, this is, it's a very important juncture. This is a question that we will deal after the result. But of course, I mean, I have seen that when they also when they came in alliance with Congress party, so mostly Samajwadi Party is expecting that at least they will get most of the Yadav votes and Muslim votes, because I have found one thing very interesting. I mean, this is also a very sad state of affair. If you will travel to the areas which are Muslim dominated, especially when I travel to the Sambhal and Badaयूं, people will say, because for a very long time Samajwadi Party has been in Sambhal and also in Badaयूं, but you will not see much very high level of development or whatsoever that should have been in Sambhal area. People will say that if we will not vote for, so especially Muslims will say that if we will not vote for Samajwadi Party or Congress, then who will? I mean, then where we can go? I mean, some Muslims is mostly they will not vote for BJP. What has happened in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
So they are also dealing with the crisis of options. Like when on the other side, when people say that if not BJP or if not Narendra Modi, then who? So that is what happening on the other side also. In our electoral system, in this election, it has become a very, it's a very strange situation where people are trying to vote to the alternatives, but they are not finding a solid ground to vote the different party. Yes,
absolutely. Because you mentioned you have traveled to Badaयूं, you have traveled in Sambhal. Can you tell me what are the key differences that you noticed in the BJP, BSP and SP campaign? But before you answer that question, I would like to go back to Sukrita. Sukrita, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes. Viewers, that's our Assam correspondent, Sukrita Barua. Sukrita, Assam is witnessing polls in the last 4 Lok Sabha seats of its 14 seats, after which it will complete elections in the state. Can you tell us about the voter turnout percentage?
So just give me a second. So as of 5 p.m., overall voter percentage, I have the latest number till 3 p.m. So it's at 63% as of 3 p.m. The final numbers for till 5 p.m. have not come in yet.
No problem. Sukrita, tell us about the 4 constituencies and their crucial players.
So this particular, if we speaking about the third phase, so this is Western Assam, Central and Western Assam. So we have, of course, Guwahati, which is the heart of the state, and then we have 2 Lower Assam constituencies of Dhubri and Borpeta, and we also have a Scheduled Tribe Reserve constituency called Kokrajhar, and these 4 are going into polls. So okay, so in the Guwahati seat, the contest is mostly it's narrowed down between the BJP and the Congress. We have 2 women candidates. There's Meera Borthakur and Bijoli Kulita Midhi. Borpeta is one seat. Borpeta and Dhubri are the most interesting seats in this particular phase, because last year we had a delimitation exercise in Assam, in which it was the first time that the parliamentary and assembly constituencies in the state were redrawn since 1976. So this is the first such exercise since the 1970s. And these 2 constituencies saw a drastic change in their boundaries, if we talk about parliamentary constituencies. So these are both constituencies which had a majority of Muslim voters as of last year, and both of them had Muslim MPs. We had Abdul Khalik from the Congress in Borpeta, and we had Badruddin Ajmal, who is the head of the AIUDF from Dhubri. But after delimitation, what happened is that a large number of Muslim majority belts in Borpeta have been transferred over to Dhubri. So Dhubri, which had around 75% of Muslim voters, now has around 85%, and in Borpeta, the percentage of Muslim voters has come down to around 30%. So because of this, the nature of the Borpeta constituency has changed considerably. So now the sitting MP is no longer in the race, and the contest is, there are many candidates in the fray. The BJP is not contesting the seat. Its ally AGP is through its candidate Honibhushan Chaudhary, and he has a number of anti-BJP adversaries in that particular seat. So we have candidates from the Congress, the TMC, and the CPIM all standing up against him. So that's an interesting contest to watch out for. Dhubri, of course, there's Ajmal, who's seeking a 4th term from that constituency, and we have Congress bringing in a prominent leader from the state, Raqibul Hussain. He's currently an MLA from the Nagaon region, so he's contesting here. So that is also being closely watched, because it is believed that Raqibul could do well in that particular seat. In Kokrajhar, we have almost a head-on-head contest between 2 major Boro parties, the UPPL, which is a BJP ally, and the Boro People's Front, which is not allied with any of the major alliance blocks this time. So this is the contest for this phase, for phase 3.
Right, Sukrita, I want you to talk about the Dhubri seat, because the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, made that comment that he will not be seeking votes there due to its majority of the Muslim population. But then Dhubri is considered the most populous Lok Sabha seat in Assam, isn't it?
So like I told you, right, this seat has been altered so drastically in the last election. Yeah. So in the last election, I can't remember exactly what the number was, but the populations of the Dhubri and Borpeta seat were almost similar. It was around 20% or 20 lakhs or so in both the constituencies. But like I told you, such a large part of Borpeta has actually been carved out of it and added to Dhubri. So as a result, Dhubri now has around 26 lakh voters, which is a huge number for a state like Assam. So there are 26 lakh voters there. And Borpeta, on the other hand, has around 19 lakh now. And Dhubri is by such a large number, it's the most populous constituency. The second most populous constituency is around 21 point something lakhs. So because of this exercise, because of statements which have been made, like the ones that you flagged, right, that the Chief Minister has in the past said that, we're not going to win Dhubri anyway. It's impossible for the BJP alliance to win there, is what he said. In the past, he's also told reporters that, the BJP doesn't need Mia votes. So Mia is a pejorative term that is used for Bengali Muslims, who constitute around 85% of the voting population in Dhubri. So because of that, and because of this kind of carving out that has happened from Borpeta to Dhubri, a lot of the voters there's this disquiet that this kind of exercise, the delimitation exercise, has been done on a religious basis, and to try and reduce minority representation. Those are concerns that are there on the ground, that parties like the AIUDF and the Congress have raised in that particular region.
Absolutely. Sukrita, thank you for the update. That was our Assam correspondent, Sukrita Barua, giving us the updates on the northeastern state. Thank you so much for joining us, Sukrita. Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for joining us and giving us updates on the key seats in Uttar Pradesh's 10 Lok Sabha constituencies that are in the fray. So viewers, by the 5 p.m. data by the ECI voter app, the voter turnout percentage is pegged at 60.19%. India is witnessing polls in 93 seats for 1332 candidates across 11 states and union territories. We have reactions from political leaders and various factions of the political fraternity flowing in. Let's take a look.
लगातार बेरोजगारी जिस तरह बढ़ रही है, लगातार महंगाई जिस तरह बढ़े, लगातार जिस तरह रुपए के दाम इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में गिर रहे हैं, लगातार जिस तरह खाली पूंजीपतियों की इस देश में सेवा की जा रही है, और मैं समझती हूँ कहीं ना कहीं नीति के तहत और नियत के तहत भारतीय जनता पार्टी में बहुत भारी कमी और भारी खोट है।
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी कह रहे हैं कि इंडिया गठबंधन जो है मुसलमानों को,
मैं समझती हूँ 10 साल में अगर कोई सरकार अगर काम नहीं कर पाई है, अपनी विफलता पूरी दिशाओं में जिसने फैलाई है पूरे देश में, जहां आज लोग कहीं ना कहीं आक्रोशित है, कहीं ना कहीं निराश हैं, और कहीं ना कहीं जहां दबाव की राजनीति का प्रयोग आप सभी समाजों पे, सभी वर्गों पे कर रहे हैं, तो मैं समझती हूँ कि आज देश का लोकतंत्र बचाने का चुनाव है और कहीं ना कहीं संविधान की भी रक्षा करने का चुनाव है।
योगी जी कह रहे हैं कि
वो महिलाओं को बुला लेना
बीच और राम विरोधियों के बीच,
मैं समझती हूँ राजनीतिक विचारधारा की लड़ाई है, जहां संविधान के संरक्षण की और लोकतंत्र के संरक्षण की लड़ाई है।
आप लोग दिन रात दौड़ कर रहे हैं, तो आप अपने स्वास्थ्य की भी चिंता कीजिए। पानी बहुत पीना चाहिए, जितना ज्यादा पानी पिएंगे तो आपको बहुत स्वास्थ्य के लिए भी ठीक रहेगा। महाराष्ट्र जाना है, फिर तेलंगाना जाना है, तो इतने कम समय में मैं ज्यादा बात तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा। इस गर्मी में आप लोग दिन रात दौड़ कर रहे हैं, तो आप अपने स्वास्थ्य की भी चिंता कीजिए, और क्योंकि चुनाव के दिनों में पत्रकार साथियों को दिन रात दौड़ना पड़ता है, और आज मीडिया की कंपटीशन भी इतनी है कि आपको समय से आगे दौड़ना पड़ता है। मैं तो यही प्रार्थना करूंगा आप सब पुराने साथियों को कि अपने स्वास्थ्य का जरूर ध्यान रखें, और मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि पानी बहुत पीना चाहिए। जितना ज्यादा पानी पिएंगे तो आपको बहुत स्वास्थ्य के लिए भी ठीक रहेगा और एनर्जी भी मेंटेन रहती है। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। मैं देशवासियों को विशेष रूप से आग्रह करूंगा कि लोकतंत्र में मतदान ये सामान्य दान नहीं है। हमारे देश में दान का एक महात्म्य है, और उसी भाव से देशवासी ज्यादा से ज्यादा मतदान करें। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। अभी और करीब करीब 3 सप्ताह चुनाव अभियान चलेगा। 4 मतदान के दौर आगे भी हैं। मेरा गुजरात में मतदार के नाते यही एक जगह है जहां मैं रेगुलर मतदान करता हूं, और अमित भाई यहां से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के उम्मीदवार के रूप में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। मैं कल रात को ही आंध्र से आया हूं, अभी गुजरात में हूं, मध्य प्रदेश जाना है। महाराष्ट्र जाना है, फिर तेलंगाना जाना है। तो इतने कम समय में मैं ज्यादा बात तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं गुजरात के मतदाताओं को भी और देश के मतदाताओं का भी हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, जो उत्साह उमंग से मतदान में हिस्सा लेते हैं। हम लोगों ने देश में भारत की चुनावी प्रक्रिया कैसी है, चुनावी मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, और दुनिया के लोकतंत्र के लिए ये बहुत ही बड़ा सीखने योग्य एग्जाम्पल है। दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी ने केस स्टडी करना चाहिए। आज दुनिया में करीब 64 कंट्रीज में चुनाव है, उन सबका कंपैरिजन करना चाहिए। और ये वर्ष एक प्रकार से लोकतंत्र का उत्सव न सिर्फ भारत में, पूरी दुनिया में है। और भारत ने दुनिया में जो भी अच्छी चीजें हैं वो चुनावी व्यवस्था में विकसित की है। और मैं मानता हूं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन इसके लिए बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन का अधिकारी है। आप सब मीडिया के मित्र तो अब भारत में 900 से ज्यादा टीवी चैनल्स है, 5000 से ज्यादा दैनिक अखबार निकलते हैं, और वो तो पूरी तरह चुनाव के रंग में रंगे जाते हैं। और इसलिए हर एक का प्रयास और यही मंथन है जो लोकतंत्र को भी मजबूत करता है और देश को भी मजबूत सरकार देता है। तो मैं इसमें योगदान देने वाले एक लोकतंत्र के महायज्ञ में जो भी जितनी आहुति दे रहा है, सब अभिनंदन के अधिकारी हैं। मैं फिर से देशवासियों को यही कहता हूं कि आज गुजरात में और जहां जहां चुनाव का मतदान का दिवस है, बहुत भारी मात्रा में मतदान करें, लोकतंत्र के पर्व को मनाएं, उत्सव के रूप में मनाएं।
हम लोग वोट डालने वाले लोग हैं और जीतने वाला कभी गुस्से में नहीं आता है, हारने वाला खिसियाता है। हारने वाला खिसियाता है। बीजेपी की बुरी हार होने जा रही है, बहुत बुरी हार होने जा रही है बीजेपी की, क्योंकि किसान, नौजवान, व्यापारी, हर वर्ग के लोग इनके खिलाफ मतदान कर रहे हैं। ये संविधान मंथन होने जा रहा है। एक तरफ जो यहां दिखाई दे रहे हैं सब लोग, आप भी लोग संविधान रक्षक हो, और दूसरी तरफ वो लोग हैं जो संविधान के भक्षक हैं। समुद्र मंथन की तरह संविधान मंथन होने जा रहा है। संविधान की रक्षा, संविधान को बचाने वाले लोग, संविधान के रास्ते पे चलने वाले लोग और मनमर्जी वाले लोग नहीं हैं। यहाँ संविधान की बात करने वाले लोग हैं, मनमर्जी बात करने वाले नहीं हैं यहाँ पर। और फिर सत्ता में खींचतान चल रही है। सत्ता में बीजेपी के अपने अंदर खींचतान चल रही है कि सत्ता किसके हाथ में हो। ये बात किसको नहीं समझ में आ रही है। ये जो आत्मतुष्टीकरण के लिए जो बयान देते हैं, ये बयान किसी और के लिए नहीं दे रहे हैं, आत्मतुष्टीकरण के लिए बयान दे रहे हैं लोग। और ये चतुराई से हिसाब किताब करते हैं, चतुराई से बातें करते हैं।
I have replied it to you. Nothing will, I mean, as it is for BJP, it will not have, but it is a very, very serious case. And we will, we urge the state government, because you have failed in securing him, you detaining him, even though the clipping has come out well in advance, that is 21st, but because you waited for the Gowda belt to vote, and after that you allowed him to go outside, if you had filed the FIR and informed the central government, then also we would have detained, but you have not done that also.
Sir, out of 14 seats, what will the BJP?
14 out of 14 we will win.
लगातार बेरोजगारी जिस तरह
The CPIM West Bengal secretary does not seem happy with West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's role in the India-Bloc alliance. In fact, Mohammad Salim often accuses Mamata of having allegedly links with the RSS. The Indian Express accompanied him for a day on his campaigning trail and he revealed exciting insights. Let's take a look.
There is no opposition at present. What opposition you see is the half recycled TMC as BJP, half BJP recycled BJP as TMC. But already we have seen how the workers of the Congress is working for this, ensuring the victory of left, and the CPIM activists are working to ensure the victory of the Congress. The Bengali-speaking Muslims, they have realized how Mamata has hoodwinked. She took a posture that she is fighting against BJP, but she paved the way for RSS and BJP kind of politics. আর এখানে দাঁড়িয়ে কংগ্রেস আর লেফট মমতা ব্যানার্জির জন্মের আগে মমতা পার্টির জন্মের আগে সিপিআইএম লড়ছে এখানে, এটা জানেন না উনি? You see, where are the workers? Forget about the candidates belonging to this generation, either in the BJP camp or the TMC camp. The youths, because the central government or state government have failed them. So over a decade, they have realized, and they are rallying behind the left. And this is definitely going to be reflected in the election, because when you cite earlier elections data, that was not genuine data. It was Panchayat election. Even in this place, you go out and see that how it was rigged, how the counting was looted. And last assembly election was just the bogey of NRC CA has compelled the people to take side, not the political or economic reason. And now we find out it's an electoral bond. Crores of rupees were used for this kind of mind-boggling, public relation exercise. So this time it is based on reality. People are facing the tragic situation of both price rise and unemployment. Their income has gone down, saving has gone down, expenditure is going up. So we are talking about roti rosi, employment, food, fuel. Whereas the BJP for last 1 year was talking about ECC, Ram Mandir and what not. TMC, instead of addressing the real problem being faced by the people of Bengal, they were trying to mop up money, illegal arms, illegal smuggling business, and that's how they have been isolated. So no earlier data is going to prove your point. This time the generation has come with us. So these people whose grandparents used to be the left supporters, participants of the farmers' movements, workers' movements, education movements, they have realized how the Mamata Banerjee and the BJP has failed them. They have failed them. So naturally, with a vengeance, they are working for the left. For last 2 elections, the binary was developed as if it is a fight between BJP and TMC, which is a fake thing. But at the end of the day, the people have realized the RSS agenda of Congress Mukt Bharat was being implemented by Trinamool Congress, and Trinamool Congress was created by RSS to just wash out the left or the Marxist. So naturally, in Bengal, there is no opposition at present. But the opposition you see is the half recycled TMC as BJP, half BJP recycled BJP as TMC. So naturally, people want their fight for rights, insaf, haq, their dues, and at the same time, their employment, their developments. And in that case, it's a triangular fight. But already we have seen how the workers of the Congress is working for this, ensuring the victory of left, and the CPIM activists are working to ensure the victory of the Congress. Because this time it was not the leaders who have come together. It was the workers and the voters, the common people have come together, supporters, and they have ensured that the left and Congress combined. The problem was when the India bloc was created in Bangalore, a section of pro-RSS people and media was in disarray. They attacked India bloc like anything. So 2 questions were raised: why TMC is there, and the second question was why left is combining all such groups. And BJP wanted to resurrect the NDA. First question, why Mamata was there, we said that Mamata is not going to last for long because her self-life is going to be finished. At the same time, ISF raised this question: if someone is connected with India, that is bloc, they are not with us. That means they have they have chalked out their own political path. They are free to do that. Whereas the CPM's politics was from Kannur Party Congress that we unite all the forces against RSS and BJP.
So that was the West Bengal's CPIM secretary when the Indian Express followed him on one of his campaign trails. For West Bengal, that is witnessing polls in 4 of its seats today. By 5 p.m., it had the voter turnout percentage pegged at 73.93%. West Bengal is witnessing polls in 4 of its seats in Malda Uttar, Malda Dakshin, Jangipura, and Murshidabad. In terms of earlier reports today, there was a minor scuffle between TMC and BJP workers, and the CPIM is a strong contender in Murshidabad. According to the Election Commission, 182 complaints were lodged in the morning with the West Bengal Chief Electoral Officer. Polling had been peaceful so far, with 1 or 2 isolated incidents of violence being reported. At Jangipur, a scuffle broke out between BJP candidate Dhananjay Ghosh and Trinamool Congress bloc president Gautam Ghosh, with the former alleging the latter was intimidating voters outside a polling station. Ghosh said, and I quote, "When I protested, he tried to overpower me. This is the kind of politics the TMC wants on the day of polling so that their candidate wins the election." The EC has deployed 334 companies of central forces along with 13,600 state police personnel to ensure free, fair and peaceful polling. In West Bengal, about 73,37,651 voters, including 36 lakh women and 154 belonging to third gender, are eligible to exercise their franchisee across 7,360 polling stations in the 4 Lok Sabha seats. Like I mentioned, West Bengal, up until 9 a.m. it was 16%, the voter turnout percentage, but right now at 5 p.m. it is 73.93. The Trinamool Congress has also questioned the delay in releasing turnout percentages and moved to the poll panel for the number of votes cast. The Trinamool Congress today has accused the Election Commission of having a lackadaisical attitude, citing the delayed release of voter turnout percentages for both Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Lok Sabha polls. The party has also demanded the release of the number of votes cast in both the phases. The TMC wrote a letter to the EC on Monday and said, and I quote, "As you are aware that the polling for Phases 1 and 2 of the ensuing general elections to Lok Sabha concluded on the 19th of April and 26th of April respectively. The Election Commission of India belatedly released the voter turnout percentages for both the phases. The TMC demanded that the Commission publish the total number of registered voters in each parliamentary constituency, the total number of voters who turned up as per the register of voters, and the number of voters as recorded by the EVMs for all constituencies that went to poll on the 19th and 26th of April. However, the said voter turnout report only entails a percentage of votes cast. The report has no information about the total number of eligible electors and the total votes cast. This is a paradigm shift from the previous voter turnout reports from the past elections, where the ECI provided a detailed report in this regard. The TMC said that the report exhibits notable discrepancies and inconsistencies in the percentages for both the phases, wherein the voter turnout percentage was shown to be 60%, and later the combined voter turnout report recorded the percentages at 66. The TMC also went on to question the delay of 11 days in releasing the final turnout percentages for Phase 1. Meanwhile, we are joined by our correspondent from West Bengal, Shantanu Chaudhary. Shantanu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you repeat what is the voter turnout percentage so far by 5 p.m. for West Bengal?
Yes, over 70% polling has been reported from the constituencies in West Bengal till 5 p.m. and the voting will continue till 6 p.m. and after that the polling percentage is likely to go up. The polling is going on in Malda Uttar, Malda Dokhin, Murshidabad and Jangipur seats. Previously, in the first two phases, the 6 seats went to the poll, and polling was more or less peaceful at that time. And this time also, the polling has been peaceful so far.
Absolutely. Can you tell us who are the key contestants in these 4 seats?
Yes, from Murshidabad, the CPM State Secretary Mohammad Salim is contesting against the sitting MP Abu Tahir Khan, who is known to be a very influential leader in Murshidabad. The contest is likely to be tied between the two leaders. And from Jangipur, the BJP candidate is Dhananjay Ghosh is also contesting the election. And Malda South, there's BJP's Nirbhaya Didi, Shirupa Mitra Chaudhuri is contesting the election against this Congress candidate Isha Khan Chaudhuri, who happens to be the nephew of late former Union Minister ABA Ghani Khan Chaudhuri. And in Malda Uttar, the sitting BJP MP Khagan Murmu is contesting the election to retain his seat. So these are the main, the famous candidates that that is contesting the election this time.
Right. In Murshidabad, isn't the CPIM considered to be the biggest contender there?
Yes, in Murshidabad, the CPM has a very strong support base in the district, and also that's why the party has fielded its state secretary Mohammad Salim from there with a possibility of winning the seat. Last time in 2019, the left had failed to win a single seat in West Bengal, so this time they are pinning all their hopes on Mohammad Salim to win the Murshidabad seat at least, and also the TMC will also try to retain that seat, because last time Abu Tahir Khan had won the seat by a margin of over 2 lakh votes, but this time the contest is going to be a tight one because Mohammad Salim has been campaigning very well in this constituency, and there has been very decent response from the people. The turnout has been good given the strength of the CPIM in West Bengal. So therefore, this is going to be the one seat in this third phase, which is likely to make the headlines.
Shantanu, can you tell me what are the key issues that have been plaguing these 4 constituencies?
Yes, in the Murshidabad and Malda, these two states produce the maximum of migrant laborers to other states. The men from the villages go to other states to earn their daily earn their livelihood, and this is kind of an issue which all the candidates has raised while campaigning for the Lok Sabha polls. Besides that, in Malda and Murshidabad, there is this issue of Ganga erosion, which has claimed a lot of land and also a lot of properties. So this is another issue which is going to which has dominated the election campaign. Besides that, the BJP has always highlighted the corruption of Trinamool Congress, and as well as the various kind of appeasement politics. As you know, that Murshidabad and Malda happens to have the majority of the minority voters there, with Murshidabad being the top district with a number of minority voters, and Malda also comes second in terms of the population of minority communities. So therefore, the issue of minority voters is also going to take place in these 4 constituencies.
Correct. We also have reports that the Trinamool Congress has written to the Election Commission of India questioning the delay in releasing turnout percentages, and they also believe that there are discrepancies in the reports for phase 1 and phase 2. Why do you think that the TMC believes that the case is such?
Because they are not satisfied with the kind of report that was published by the EC. They think that there can be some kind of discrepancies in that report. Therefore, they have raised questions. And yesterday they had written a letter to the Chief Election Commissioner regarding the issue, and they feel that the Election Commission is kind of helping the BJP win the election. Today also, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee criticized the Election Commission and said that the model of code of conduct has been turned into a Modi code of conduct. This is a kind of attack that has been launched by the Mamata Banerjee against the Election Commission. So in a nutshell, they are not satisfied with the conduct of the poll panel in this Lok Sabha election.
Absolutely. Can you tell us, because you mentioned about Malda Dakshin, that they were earlier bastions of Congress, but then the churn began after Thaggen Murmu, the former CPIM MLA of Habibpur. He joined the BJP before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and won the Malda Uttar seat. So while Congress retained Malda Dakshin, both seats in Murshidabad, Jangipur and Murshidabad, went to TMC. So how did that switch sort of, make an imbalance in the entire equilibrium?
Well, to understand the shift, then you have to go back to 2011 when TMC came to power in West Bengal with the support of the Congress, because Congress was at that time with the state government. And a year later, at the end of 2012, the TMC withdrew its support from the then UPA government, and it went all alone in West Bengal. Since then, the TMC started, capturing all the local municipalities in Murshidabad and Malda districts, which happened to be Congress stronghold because of the lineage or the number of stalwart leaders that came from these two districts and also from the Raiganj in North Dinajpur. So therefore, once the TMC decided to withdraw support from the UPA, the TMC, started, gaining organizational strength in these two districts. It brought in workers from the Congress to the Trinamool Congress. It captured the municipalities in the districts, and that's how the Congress began to lose support base in this Murshidabad and also the Malda districts. The TMC gained prominence, and when the 2016 assembly polls, as a state assembly polls, the TMC came to power again, and that time the Congress and CPIM was reduced to a main opposition party in West Bengal. Despite their combined strength, the parties won 76 seats in West Bengal compared to TMC's 211. And after that, BJP came to gain a lot of ground in West Bengal, since it won 2 seats in West Bengal in 2014, and 2014 to 2019, the BJP won 18 seats in West Bengal, from 2 to 18. So that's how the power shifted in West Bengal. The election machineries, which was with the CPM and the Congress, began to shift its allegiance to the saffron camp, and that's how the BJP gained prominence in West Bengal. The TMC retained its vote percentage. TMC retained its seat, as it was evident in 2021 state assembly polls when the party won 213 seats. But the 76 seats got reduced to 0 in 2021. Left and Congress drew a blank. In just 5 years' time, Left and Congress's tally came down from 76 to 0. At the same time, BJP, whose tally was just 3 in 2016, they rose to 77 and became the prime opposition party. This is where the shift happened. This is where the BJP got into the space which was vacated by the Left and Congress. So the opposition space has shifted, and while TMC has retained its position of power. So that's how Congress has lost ground in both the districts.
I would want you to circle back to Khagen Murmu, because the TMC has nominated Prasun Banerjee against him, former IPS officer, right? So
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about these two candidates?
Well, Prasun Bandata is a new entrant in politics. He doesn't have much experience as in terms of a political leader. However, he has been with the administration, so the knowledge on the administration is there with him. Khagen Murmu is a tried-tested, leader. He was earlier with the CPIM, a known leader who has a great mass base and gets support from the grassroots level. That's how he has been able to, win the seat in 2019 for Malda Uttar, and he is also favored to, retain the seat in Malda Uttar. So therefore, there cannot be any, real comparison between the two leaders, because one is a very good mass leader in that district, and another is a person from the administration. However, let's see what transpires into what transpires in this election.
Absolutely. And moving on to Murshidabad a little bit, there CPIM has fielded their General Secretary Mohammed Salim, and of course TMC's sitting MP Abu Tahir Khan is fighting. What do you have to say about the both of them?
Well, this is going to be a very tough contest, because Mohammed Salim has been a very successful parliamentarian. He was a Rajya Sabha MP before, and after that he was also a Lok Sabha MP from Raiganj from 2014 to 2019. He is a very experienced leader. He speaks well. He has a great mass base in Murshidabad district and across the state also. That's why the CPM chose to nominate him. And the state secretary contesting the election is also sends a very good message to the party's rank and file in West Bengal. And Abu Tahir Khan is basically a very senior leader, and he has been very successful in the districts in expanding TMC's base in Murshidabad districts, which was not its stronghold, as I mentioned earlier. So therefore, the election machinery is with him. He knows the district very well. Therefore, and both come from the minority communities, which means that the minority communities which traditionally favors the TMC in West Bengal will be spoiled for choices, because both are from the minority backgrounds, and both are very good, very clean image they have, both the leaders. So this is the one seat from the third phase that is going to catch all the attention.
Thank you, Shantanu. Thank you so much for talking to us. Viewers, that was our correspondent from West Bengal, Shantanu Chaudhary. And from West Bengal, we move to the heart of the country in Madhya Pradesh, where we are joined by our correspondent, Anand Mohan. Hi, Anand. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Madhya Pradesh is witnessing polls in 9 of its seats today. Tell us about the voter turnout percentage, please.
So yeah, hi. So as of 5 p.m., the voter percentage stands at 62.28%. And if I'm just looking at the data, and we see that Rajgarh, which is from where former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Digvijay Singh is contesting, that has seen one of the highest turnouts at 72%. And followed by Vidisha, where another former CM, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who belongs to the BJP, this seat stands at 69%. And if you look at the third seat of Guna, where another high-profile battle is taking place here, Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia is contesting on a BJP ticket, and there's 68.93% of polling we've seen so far.
Right. Anand, of the 9 seats, which are the top 3 battlegrounds and who are the top 3 contenders?
Right. So, as I said, the first seat, if you talk about, is Vidisha, where former BJP Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan is returning to this seat after 20 years. He is a 5-time MP, and this constituency, which is near Bhopal, this has been a BJP stronghold. Former PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee has represented this seat, and so have BJP stalwarts like Sushma Swaraj. And the Congress party has not been able to breach this stronghold. It's only been able to win this seat twice in the past, in the 80s, 1980 and 1984. And the Chauhan is up against a former Vidisha MP, Mr. Pratap Bhanu Sharma. The second seat, we have a very interesting battle taking place between Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia and the Congress candidate Rao Yadvendra Singh Yadav. Scindia sort of marks his return after his shock loss in 2019, where he lost by a huge margin of around 1.25 lakh votes against the BJP candidate at the time, KP Yadav. And Scindia had then eventually, after this loss, had fallen out of favor with the party, and then eventually there were a lot of internal party politics which took place, following which eventually he defected to the BJP along with 22 MLAs, which brought down the Kamalnath-led Congress party government. And now Scindia has returned to reclaim his seat in Guna. The third interesting fight that we're going to see is between former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Digvijay Singh and his BJP, the sitting 2-time MP Rodmal Nagar. So he's again, even Singh is returning to the seat after a gap of 33 years. This is his home base. He fought one of his first elections from this place, and then he went on to become a chief minister. Then eventually he lost to BJP's Uma Bharti, following which he took a pledge to not contest elections for the next 10 years, and then he was pretty much missing from the state politics scene and had recently returned. And in the last elections, he was made to contest away from his home base in Bhopal, where he lost to Hindutva firebrand leader Sadhvi Pragya Thakur, and now Digvijay Singh has returned to his home base to once again reclaim his seat.
Thank you so much, Anand. That was our correspondent, Anand Mohan from Madhya Pradesh, bringing us the updates of the 9 Lok Sabha seats up for grabs in the heart of India. So viewers, that was our comprehensive coverage on 1,332 candidates in 93 seats across 11 states and union territory in the third phase of Lok Sabha Elections 2024. For all the live updates and the deep dive coverages, please visit our website, indianexpress.com. You were watching this election coverage discussion on the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am Flora Swai, and that is all from here.